Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Hand of Fate 2. So we managed to defeat the Death Challenge and that unlocked the Moon Challenge. So we now need to play the Moon Challenge at least once to know what it's even about, to possibly decide if we have even the right characters and cards to play to maybe succeed. With every completion of a new challenge, you unlock new cards, almost always, almost certainly. So then, every next challenge of a mission is going to be exploratory, effectively doubling what realistically would have been the amount of time that it would have taken to play this game. Whereas if the game had just done you the kindness of showing you what the cards do, and let it be more of a strategy deck builder game instead of a random encounter game that you learn as you play, this would be a much more optimized experience and I think much more enjoyable.
It is here that you separate yourself from your predecessor.
Yeah, he's saying preparation is key to your success. How can you prepare when you don't know what a lot of the cards even do?
The shaped tool will not cut smoothly. It will turn and bite the wielder. That is why I have paid such attention to your forging.
So, we're working down the meta narrative here that we are going to kill the Emperor. I don't know exactly why we're killing the Emperor, other than the Emperor seems to want to kill me. And the Emperor seems to be Kalis, who would have been the character you were playing as in the first game, which that is certainly controversial at a certain level. Like, if you really liked the character that you were playing as in the first game, him turning into an evil bad guy or somebody that you have to kill for any reason just does not sit well. If anything, it would make a lot more sense for the character from your first game to be the new dealer, and then the dealer from the first game become the Emperor and the bad guy, since he was obviously the bad guy, revealed at the end anyways. On the last day of solstice...
Too egotistic? Certainly. Yet I would never have wrestled the secrets of the elements from the Lords of Beyond were I not.
He has like only 2 or 3 sentences he'll say if you sit idle. He might as well just sigh very quickly if you sit idle instead of saying a long monologue. On the last day of solstice, you pass through the gates of the great city. The scene before you is overwhelming, a melange of architectural styles, exotic smells, and busy people. You have taken counsel with your companions and wrestled with self-doubt. Your path is clear now. The Empire is a force for darkness in this world, bringing nothing but death and destruction. I guess the Emperor is probably causing the corruption. If you're truly a hero, this is the time to prove it. There can be no other than this one, the Emperor. No other end than this one, the Emperor must die. I wouldn't be surprised if the twist here is that the dealer is causing the corruption and framing the Emperor. Australia has organized a covert meeting with General Flint Hallow, an ally from her Empire days. You will tell us the way into the palace, she explains, but only if we prove that we have the backing for such a rebellion. Begin your search. Australia disappears into the crowds, stating she has some business to attend to. Sure would be nice if you saw pictures of who Australia was, heard her voice, had some voice acting. Ariande leans onto her hammer. Well, this is it, isn't it? The final stretch. Ariande is the actual companion character, so that line of dialogue would be different depending on who you picked as a companion. She grins at a few passing citizens who glare up at her. We only have to charm some of these fine folks. We have to chat with this Seaver fellow and then go assassinate the Emperor, easy as pie. We need 12 conspirators. An Empire soldier stares at you from across the way. You disappear into the market crowd before he realizes who you are. And see, that reveals something on the card, but I can't actually read it. So let's look at the map and see what that says. Patrolling soldiers. So instead of the patrolling soldiers being a target, a token that would move around, it is instead just a specific encounter you will have to deal with. So I guess the move is to probably avoid this. So we can buy information from the healer, but apparently we cannot revive Colborn, which was what I was hoping we could do. Again, the way they depict things here really should zoom in more.
Death stalks these streets. Your death, my death, and the death of an emperor.
While climbing the battlements and circling the city, you hear a choking sound followed by a terrified scream. Panicked tourists hurry past you, covering their mouths behind them. A squad of soldiers writhe painfully on the ground, their bodies twisted and malformed by the corruption. Right. So you start the first 2/3 of this game fighting Northerners. Then they seemingly have just forgotten about the Northerners in favor of corrupted. I imagine the move here is not to not really to do anything too crazy. I'm trying to get as many finisher attacks as possible instead of running into just trying to get the weapon equipped and upgraded if possible on these early fights. And that was the cool effect of him being thrown off the edge, but that didn't really do much. Apparently we are also inconspicuous at this point, so I wonder if that's how you get gold, is to just stay inconspicuous by not raising your fame.
Power is ultimately the measure of any empire. This is a symbol of that power.
This is a weapon that does not do anything for undead or corrupted. The crowds watch in distress as you loot the newest victims of the blight. Maybe it was better to not loot. We failed that roll, so I imagine that has probably made us conspicuous. Somebody curses and spits on you, have you no shame. With the corrupted creatures dealt with, you stand and leave and hope no one recognizes you. So there's an extra roll that must be done. That's not gonna win. Well, I was wrong about that. You garner a few curious looks from the crowd. Thankfully, the bustling city swallows you up again.
You continue to involve yourself in northern affairs. Imagine what you could have achieved if you devoted yourself to study.
So here we have another shard card. We'll try and get to shard and probably just unlock another cosmetic thing, but it would be informative to at least know that for certain that shards always only unlock cosmetic things. Ursa, a young warrior from the north, proposes a hunting contest. this farmer kindly saved my boy instead of handing him to the Empire, I will rid the land of the boars, destroying his crops in thanks. Who will be a worthy opponent? As you step forward to accept the challenge, the farmer warns, not only have they been wreaking havoc in the field, a huge white boar ate one of my lambs. I hacked off one of his tusks, but he still roams. You and Ursa shake hands before heading into the fields, paying heed to the gnarly grunts echoing in the distance. Alright. So, Ariande is offering to help. Should we say yes? Yes, I'm terrible at this. Choose a card to duplicate. That one. By far. Now what's funny is the middle card didn't look like it even moved. You locate the boar's lair. Great tusked beast snarled as they catch your scent. They stampede out of the cave, running you into the ground. So I failed there. You hear Ursa's cursing in the distance as the beasts escape. The dice gambit target remains uncharged. You can continue hunting until the sun begins to set, then haul your kills back to the farmhouse. Ursa paces in front of you, a pile of dead beasts as the farmer tallies your kills. So we need a very high roll. But we're gonna do this. Might as well just re-roll them all. Ursa has beat you by 6 beasts. Ursa is the winner, the farmer announces. I'm grateful to you both. My fields will be safe once more, says the farmer, embracing the precious flock of sheep. Well, at least we know what that is all about. So that's probably not a card I'm going to care to do too much. I haven't been really paying attention too much to the stuttering in the loading, so if it is stopped, I would need to look at that and confirm that. So I'll try and pay more attention to that. I did change my computer settings somewhat, effectively just underclocking them. I think part of the problem here is you probably can do a finisher way more often than it seems like you can, and the game just doesn't really tell you that. And weirdly, I had like 5 uses on that archer arrow. I feel like that just resets. Well, we definitely want to see what this does. Inflict 200 damage on a living enemy when activated. Undead, they're immune. Ignores armor. So, and it has 3 uses. We now know what that does. It is, however, not really worth using in this scenario. And now we'll see if we get cursed again. I think it probably is safer to only roll 1, but companion won't aid me in combat anymore. And then a higher dice roll. Almost certainly Colborne is the move here. If we could bring Colborne back to life. Small child shrieks in delight and points at you in recognition. It's the bad person come to kill the Emperor. You gain 4 fame. As you press your way from the crowd, you hear somebody yelling for the guards. The dealer adds 1 brimstone monster card to the monster deck. Thankfully, the bustle of the city swallows you up again. So potentially,
I cannot see how alliances with the thieves
you
of
should
the
not
Empire improve your situation.
do every
The
encounter.
enemy of your enemy is not always your ally.
Here we have another shard card that's new. You follow a trail of heresy to or hearsay to an inn in the town of Alderose. The barkeeper introduces himself as Harvey and says, Father Galfrey mentioned that you're a keen thief. I have a lucrative proposition for you. A new revue is to be elected. I've intercepted the letter and made an adjustment to include myself, the great Henry of Alderos. All I'd like you to do is get this list to the messenger's hand without him noticing. He hands you a sealed scroll. Let's see. When the messenger arrives, he rests his satchel on the stool beside him. Let's drop all my gold. You approach the messenger and drop the contents of your coin pouch on the floor. He gets off his stool and begins to help you gather the coins. Okay, so we just want a silver here. That is going to be
Poorly
difficult.
done. You must harness your will and find the quiet stillness inside you.
The peasant joins the messenger on the floor and then runs out of the inn with half your gold. In the confusion, the messenger decides to leave after helping you gather the rest of your gold. You gain 2 gold. Harvey shakes his head. You're the worst thief I've ever seen. You lose 2 fame. So that definitely is a card that you want to do when precision gambits are a thing. And I don't think there's anything we could really afford, or anything we'd really want to sell. We could sell this weapon because we're not going to use it. We could inspect this weapon and yeah. Yeah, this weapon recharges after each combat, so you get 5 shots with the crossbow. So I really should be using the crossbow a lot more than I have been. Battered helm. We need to take to the blacksmith. Yeah. Let's just continue making progress here.
So much military attention, and why? Because the Emperor knows you are coming. He has known long before.
A group of soldiers stand in your path. The small child points at you, trying to get her mother's attention. Her mother thankfully ignores her. Stay inconspicuous and pass through. Go back the other way. We don't have a go back the other way option, really. You hope they do not recognize you. Let's just say no in this case, because if I can't win 3 out of 4, then I can't win 4 out of 5. Imagine we will just have another patrol that is on the next level. I think it's fairly questionable whether you need to actually get all of these. Like, I'm not sure items really matter as much as they normally would. Thing I think you're getting as a benefit here when you shoot is you can just kind of pause time Interesting. That did not work all the way. And these corrupted are acting like they're strong, but they're not really hitting me. And it's not like I have a great amount of weapons. Now what was interesting on that load screen on the right there was a animated bird going up and down, and I really question whether that extra animation is necessary. We now have Coldwind's sword, but we won't be fighting any northerners.
Games within games within games.
With the corrupted creatures dealt with, you stand and leave and hope that no one recognizes you. No, but there's just not even a line of dialogue around the fact that the crowd is watching you loot. More dialogue. Just gonna add more brimstone monsters. I still am inconspicuous.
Checkpoints, as if they keep one step ahead of the deaths that hunt them. I do not tarry with these sorts of devices. They are a sign the world has lost its way.
So here's our companion event. Arundani leads you through the streets of the city to a dilapidated house tucked in the darkened alleyway. This is where we'll find the thing we need to fix Anders' forge, a mechanical oddity. The inside of the house is distinctly tidier, and you are surprised by the presence of a small general store within. A young woman minds the counter. That's Marion the mage, Arunde whispers loudly. Marion hears, of course. Can I help you? And could you please refrain from calling me a mage out loud? Don't worry, Marion, Arunde booms. Only old Biddle's shopping here. We're here for that. She points to a large copper bauble studded with silver nubs resting upon the counter. This is a genuine artifact of a bygone dustman. It's priceless. I can't part with it. The mage hugs it to herself. Let's see. Ask Arunde what to do. Persuade her, knock her out and take it. She's such a small thing on your golfs. It'd be easy as squishing a net. I can still hear you, Marion sighs from behind the counter. Ask Marion why she isn't hiding. The Empire doesn't bother us out here in the slums, and I have a few magical potions that the people appreciate, so they don't really care that I'm a mage. I lived in the city since I was a child. It's my home, Marion. The mage frowns. I deserve to live here as much as anyone else. I think we should try and persuade her. We will take the opportunity to double our success cards. If I knew it was going to be a challenge card situation, I would have said no. The persuasion words fall on deaf ears. Marion won't budge. At a loss, you look at Arunde and she provides. She gives you a confident wink. Arunde slaps the mage hard across the face with her sizable hand, sending her sprawling to the ground. Though dizzied, she is still conscious and livid. Get out before I call the guards on you. So I guess I was supposed to just knock her out. I thought that was a brimstone card last time. Now it's not a brimstone card.
Every performance is at heart a lie.
Parked in the dust quarter is a traveling theater that's seen better days. The molted stage curtains hang tiredly. A pasty, ill-looking man named Old Patton appears to be the head of this enterprise. He waves over you. Go over. White powder has settled into the wrinkles on his face. His painted lips twisted into a knowing grin. "I know who you are," he whispers. "Look here. I won't tell." He taps his red, bulbous nose and winks. "If you stand for my recently and rather inconveniently deceased actor." He points out a ragged banker costume. Asks what happened to the deceased actor. "My baker has been walked into his own home, hasn't he? He's gonna either starve, walled into his own home, or get eaten by the corruption." The old man looks positively delighted at that prospect. "So we have to be the baker." The play starts with a hag knocking on a pantomime door. "Oh, baker, I've come for your hand in marriage." Greet the hag with a kiss. Tell the hag that the marriage is off. What's more interesting? I would say tell the marriage is off. Not skipping a beat, the hag feigns hurt shock and flings a prop at you in anger. It bounces off your head painfully. The crowd cheers. So, we take damage. Seeing the audience reaction, the hag continues to throw objects at you. You dodge them as they come. Punch the hag in the face? No. Let's start a monologue. We begin to talk of the rising price of plum nut jam. The hag stops throwing things at you and stares in disbelief. A few members of the audience leave in boredom. Whoops. You must salvage this performance. Alright, we're punching the hag in the face. You leap forward and land a stunning blow. Not to be outdone, the hag jumps on you and sinks in. The yellow teeth enter your arm. The crowd cheers and applauds. So they really like violence here. You trade blows for a while until old Patton kicks sense into both of you. Blood pours from the hag's nose. She glares at you and mutters something under her breath. Redeemer's tax? What is that? Old Patton coughs to get your attention and points inexplicably to a marked dining table on stage. Pretend to eat a meal. You sit down and comment on the weather and how beautiful the audience is. The crowd claps vigorously at this. You see old Patton signaling you to wrap up the performance. Curtsy, denounce the Empire. Let's go with denounce the Empire. The crowd regards your speech with suspicion. They are sure to alert the Empire. Whoops. Should have just curtsied. A single member of the audience, a woman in a dirty apron, looks inspired by your speech. Herod the Apron pledges her service to your cause. You hope the old pattern is happening with your performance. So we got one conspirator. Now, I suppose this is coming down to just landing on something. Something good, we hope. Nope. Tellingly, you receive a half-hearted smattering of applause. Old Patton is not happy. He calls out to a passing squad of soldiers, alerting them to your identity. The audience scatters. You draw your weapon and prepare for a fight. And that is a lot of people to have to fight. I assume this challenge is called the Moon because you're conspiring and doing things in secret. Notice how my gun is not really anywhere as good. Probably kill all of these guys. Would kill the guys with the guns early. So they can't hit me. not really trying for finishers here. Yeah, and we are just about to die. Is there any way to kind of recover from just about to dying? Not really. You run away from an enemy like that and then they're going to have a very difficult to dodge attack when they get to you.
Take the battle to them next time. Surely I have trained you better than this. Focus.
Okay. So, what encounters are helpful and what encounters are useless? This one's not going to be helpful. That one's not going to be helpful. Let's see. That's probably not what we want to do. That wasn't helpful. I really question when you ever could really engage with these brimstone cards. Okay. Curses are what we need to remove. So do we have something that can remove curses? We should have at least one card that would remove curses. Companion knockout. Map revealed. We'll add that just in case. Should be something here that would remove a curse. So why am I not finding it? That's the weird part here, is that there should be more cards here that would remove a curse. Unless just being blessed is considered removing a curse. I think Toshers might actually be a decent card to play. So there's not a single event that actually removes a curse. We now know what Reaper's Arrow does, so there's no real reason to use that. Let's see. Armored Corrupted. We also know that this weapon is not good against Corrupted. We also know that Colborne's sword is probably not the sword to go with. If we are going to go with swords. Don't think we've unlocked anything else new. This would give us food for every corrupted we kill. Should give us just a massive amount of food. I think that's a better card though to really have. That's a better card to have. First kill regaining health and remove a card. That would be a good one too. And then this one needs to be upgraded to blacksmith. This one needs charged bashes, which probably not going to do too much of that. Let's see if we have something here that would specifically work well against corrupted. No, I don't think so. So we'll start again since that run went very quickly, but if this run actually does go well, it's going to be a long episode. I'm still not sure why they pretend like this game is timed with an hourglass on the left. It doesn't really seem to have any timing element to it. If it does have a timing element to it, it is an element that is not being explained well. Heavy shield, we now know what that does. Lose your companion for 3 turns to ignore the effects of a single pain card. We want the gambler's jewel, I imagine, more, or this helmet. So what can we sell? We're at 10. If we sold 2 things, we could get to 19. We could even get to 22. And that would get us the gambler's jewel if we sold everything we have. And I'm just not willing to do that. So, Elder's Gift gives us a platinum card, which gives us the Grifter's Companion, which is the reason why you would have 2 cards to get 1 platinum card. And then a bunch of fame, which I'm not sure if fame helps me too much.
Your reward, at least in potential.
Let's see. Okay, so let's knock her out this time. I like your style. Adrian draws her hammer, knocking over the display case. Oops, maybe we should take this outside. The other customer is pursuing to step in. What are you doing? You leave poor Marion alone, you brutes. Convince them that it's okay. Let's see. So we need a high roll. And we succeeded. Well, customer says, I suppose she is a mage, so I expect she'll just win the fight using magic. Marion rolls her eye in exasperation as Aaron carries her outside. And so we have a full fight here. No, I'm still seeing a little bit of a stagger when it loads. So, unless I need to underclock my computer even more, which maybe that is just a problem. We really are in a weird situation. nowadays, where computers are just overclocked or custom overclocking themselves. AMD CPUs in particular, pushing themselves perhaps too hard. But honestly, I think it's more just this game's problem. When the engine, I think it's a Unity engine game's problem. Optimization and plugins you use with that they might have used with the Unity engine. I'm quite sure if this was a heroic thing to do, Audrina notes as she drapes Marion's unconscious body over the counter and takes the mechanical oddity. But you're the more experienced hero here, so I guess it was. So now she's doubting her actions after telling you to fight her and knock her out. Now the next thing we need to do is forge it. Audrina scratches her head as she tries to remember a pumpkin, but not just any pumpkin. So, yeah. Now the one thing that's irritating about this is, of the 3 companions that we've actually been able to make some progress on their fight, none of them have really ended in a super satisfactory way. And the game totally locks up. Like, there's no way to call it anything else. The game totally locks up in when you try and target things a couple times. Like, so trying to use this artifact's ability just slows down the process. So we finally have done that artifact ability. We'll see what that does for us. We should probably search for spoils. And I will take definitely the Gambler's Jewel, which this is beat 60 dice gambits, which means you really would have had to have been playing that the whole time. And there still definitely feels like there are some scenarios where Colborne and dice gambits still won't be enough. When your companion is disabled, you cannot gain fame. And now we're doing another dice roll. Okay. Select a health enchantment, select a long life enchantment. I think long life enchantment would be the one to take. Then we take the battered helmet and we give it to him. And then he gives me the Imperial
helmet.
helmet.
Will mistake your bearing for Imperial, hat notwithstanding.
So weirdly, that didn't give us the token for taking the battered helmet to the blacksmith. So that tells me that the battered helmet needs to be taken to the blacksmith in the strength challenge exclusively. So both the card I just landed on and the battered helmet card are wrong for this encounter. If I can't win this, I can't win anything. Now I can continue to use my archer bow, but I will probably use it less frequently now, because it is better, I imagine, to just pick somebody and attack them. Now we have to walk back here where the candles are less visible. Yep. This camera is such a mess. And see, I would see myself suggesting that they probably should use this fight mode to animate some kind of cutscenes, but it would not look good, really. Let's see. Broad shield, I guess we'll defend 30 attacks. I imagine the move is not to try and make cutscenes that are animated, but have more of a visual novel style cutscenes where it's just a 2D or a live 2D at best character that would pop up and talk to you in the dialogue, instead of the dialogue just being in the top corner. And I do think we can win this run now. So, heavy shield. Don't have anything else that would be one-handed. Don't have anything else here. We're not doing charged bashes, though. I forgot about that. And this still requires some fame. Let's see. Sell my headgear. Sure. Can't wear it anyways. And then purchase equipment. Which... this would be armored corrupted weapon. Can we afford more than 2 things though? Yeah, as long as we don't buy this, we can buy this one and we can buy this one. That puts us in a, I think, rather decent position. Now we're looking for 30 successes or huge successes in chance card gambits, and that seems doable. You've got quite a few cards here with either tokens or shards. So you almost would want to let's see. You almost would want this mission to go a little bit longer now, because I'm getting a nice setup. And I think we pretty much have figured out what the move is. Although, if we don't denounce the Empire, are we not going to get a conspirator at that point? Let's curtsy and see what happens. You put your most endearing expression and curtsy your way to victory. The audience is captivated. So we have a lot of reward things. You hope the old patent is happy with your performance. And so I don't think that there's like one negative outcome here. So to the left is 15 gold. And that's quite the cheat. Of course, you have to still be able to read what the cards say and twist it at angles. That's going to be somewhat difficult. The crowd cheers and throws coins on the stage as you bow. You've put on a good show. Old Patton is impressed by your dedication to the role. His charcoal eyes well with tears. Now this is acting. Old Patton pledges his service to your cause. Your escapades at the pageant wagon have increased your notoriety. Gained for fame. I am now recognizable. So you don't really want fame in this scenario. This is the one scenario where you don't want fame. For everything else you get fame, and it's usually helpful to equip stronger equipment, or it's at least not negative in any way. Let's see, to the next area. Tension from this day forward and until further notice there will be checkpoints at all gates. With the speech over, you continue shuffling through the gates with the rest of the crowd. You hope that you are not recognizable enough to arouse suspicion. Okay. We will take her offer to add an extra chance. And we know what a negative card is, so odds are good, yet still not that good. Hey, it's the would-be assassin. You look up the soldier gesturing at you with his pilum while his comrades push their way through the nervous crowd. Yeah. Really, no amount of assistance is going to help me on those random gambits. So we have a different looking setup now with a new shield. Broad shield, gnarled and robust. Put it between you and the thing that wants to hurt you, and it will keep you safe. Alright, so nope, that's not what I wanted to do. Although that did do damage to people. So I'm looking for defenses and charged bashes. The craziness, certainly, that you can hear the cocking of a gun, and from off screen you have to defend against that. Now we just walk to this guy and he won't really attack me, so because I'll be too close to him. I felt like that was a decent experience as far as a fight. Not too difficult. Didn't do too much damage. The townsfolk back away in fear. You step over the bodies and push your way into the blood district. So now we have a couple of cards being revealed that look like they are gates. Let's just double check that. Yeah, patrolling soldiers, patrolling soldiers. So going straight down almost certainly isn't going to lead you into the right exits.
Many secrets are buried here, and you seem determined to unearth them all.
The stillness of the cemetery provides a welcome respite from the city. Only 2 people walk the grounds today, a weathered gravedigger named Thomas and an old woman in a flowered bonnet. The woman introduces herself as Hild and asks you to accompany her to her husband's grave. She pulls you close conspiratorially and glares at Thomas. I think they added more stairs. The gravedigger makes a baffled noise in disagreement. Accompany Hild to her husband's grave. Talk to Thomas. Let's go with Hild. Hild takes your arm and leads you through a stone arch towards the tombs. 3 eyes, she says, pointing a strange symbol, 3 dots etched upon the game. That's lucky. Past the graves and flowers, you climb until you reach a huge primitive stone tomb, fallen mostly to ruin. It is devoid of any markings other than the 3 dots bored above over the entrance. Here, Hild dusts the walls here, there, with her handkerchief as she descends the ancient steps into the tomb. You can barely make out her white dress and her crinkled eyes. She beckons you to follow into the tomb. You hurry after Hild. Something flickers in the passage ahead and the old woman disappears into the darkness. So is she going to turn into a wraith? I wish I had the arm wrestling card if I was going to win this many dice rolls. You head deeper into the tomb. It's dark in here and unusually warm. You take a tentative step, feeling a smooth marble underfoot. The air smells of dust and flowers. You see the small shrine of dusty flowers and forgotten candle stubs. There are tunnels to the east and west. Well, let's go east. In the depths of the tomb, you're overcome by a feeling of dread. There a scuttering sound behind you and your head swims. So we've been cursed. Ominous shadows are cast out of the tunnels. Head north or south? Well, let's go north. A statue of a robed woman stands at the intersection watching you with hollow eyes. Let's go west. You arrive at the inner sanctum. A gaping pit lies at the center of the room, swallowing the light. You've made it to the inner sanctum. This is another example of one of these cards that just has too much dialogue and too many choices.
The win here sets the tone for your
that should have been
challenge.
its own separate challenge, frankly, which is basically what the tower, I think, should have been. Although I didn't really get that far with the tower, I don't think. Without ceremony, the old widow appears behind you. Why, hello, did you get lost? With a wan smile, Hild hands you a bundle of dried flowers. She nods encouragingly and stands back to watch. Place them in the hole. Place them next to the hole. Put them in the hole. Let's put them in the hole. Okay, we'll re-roll 2 dice. Some of these encounters definitely feel like there is no wrong answer if you're just going to do a dice roll after the effect. Which, even for like Dungeons and Dragons, that might highlight a problem where if you're going to say roll for initiative to see if you succeed or not after somebody makes a decision, you're muddling up the concepts of being strategic and logical and intelligent with the concepts of just being lucky. The brittle flowers float gently down into the darkness. After a moment of silence, Hild pats your hand and thanks you for your time. Hild, the deceased, pledges her services to the cause. You hear a scream of terror from somewhere above ground. Hild hides a small smile and states that she must stay here a while to pray. Unnerved, you quickly retrace your steps out of the tomb. You find the source of the screaming. It's none other than the old gravedigger Thomas. The Watcher, he's here, he babbles, pointing a shaking hand at the mound of ornate tombs. Let's search in that direction. You rush up the stairs to confront the threat. A hulking mass slides out from behind the mausoleum. A faceless creature towers over you, its three eyes shining brilliantly. Try to escape, fight the Watcher, or attempt to reason with it. You hear yourself shout and ramble in all tongues you know. Right, so this is an 18.
Back to the bones. I hope
Roll.
you have learned to be their master.
But with all my cheating, I still was able to pull that off. Remember, she said three eyes was good. The Watcher appears unmoved by your babbling until you utter the word blood, at which point its black simmering mass flickers and is suddenly gone. Thomas, weeping, taps his forehead uncontrollably and jabbering words of gratitude. Thomas Gravedigger pledges his service to your cause. Yeah, we definitely were going to have to get 2 or 3 companions in every encounter. You carry Thomas to the cottage near the cemetery's entrance. You have to ply him with tea and words of comfort before he releases his fearful grip on your hand and allows you to leave. What this makes me think is I probably should be at 4 of 12 conspirators, and that I should have denounced the Empire in the play and then won the gambit. And so, to get to 12 conspirators and really win here, you may very well have to just perfect every encounter to get to conspirators, which would also mean that there would be 6 encounters, which would also mean
Medicine
that there would be
and chemistry.
a lot of
places magic can hide as a more specific craft.
A lot of scenarios that we're going to run into in encounter cards. The apothecary is inundated with a tense rabble of the city inhabitants. As you get closer, you notice the door has been barred shut. An elderly woman is on her knees weeping, clutching a pearl necklace to her chest. Open up, have you no heart? A heavy-set blacksmith pounds on the door. My daughter has succumbed to the rot. Her voice cracks. The rest of the crowd shrinks away from the man, and some covering their mouths fearfully. Suggest they use force or find another way in. Just find another way in. Hopping over the side gate and squeezing past crates, you find the back door of the apothecary. It's unlocked, but a thin bird-like woman stands by the door scrutinizing you. Greet the woman. Hello, she says with a curt nod. I am Jorhelm. My twin is Janice. I have heard that you want to destroy the Empire, and now that I see you're strong of brow and crooked nose, I believe in your quest. So we get another companion. She bids you goodbye as you enter the apothecary. Back door, Janice will help you too, if you can find her. The owner, a bespectacled, spindly gentleman, jumps at you in your surprise entrance. Throw a bag of gold on the counter. Well, we don't have 50 gold. Yep. You're the traitor, blah blah blah. Another curse. Brimstone monster. Your antics in the apothecary. So that got me 1 companion. Clearly there was a way to get 2. Exploring the wilds. It's not really necessary. Cheat on. There we have a success on that. I probably should just end the episode here. Because, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna really die. So, exploding doodads. We could recharge our bomb with exploding doodads. Let's see if we run into any corrupted. We're not really doing too much here. And those reveal cards are only helping so much. I'm gonna take her offer this time and increase the number of cards. Still not gonna work. Yeah, that first level definitely gave me the indication we were gonna fight a lot more corrupted, but didn't really happen. See, I'm trying to use like my bomb right now, and it's not working. Still not capable of using my bomb. So what is going on there? Well, I thought I wasn't gonna die, but at this rate, I might die. And I wouldn't totally hate dying, even though we have a nice setup right now. It is set up in such a way that I probably could change the card lineup just a little bit and still do really well. It doesn't look like we're gonna lose this one. I might have a curse on me that doesn't let me use a bomb. If that's the case, then we should go to do exploding doodads and see what we can gain from that. Alright. So your artifact ability cannot be activated in combat. Discard this the next time you gain a blessing. So some of these curses can be lost by gaining blessings, so there is an argument around that. It's not worth it to do exploding doodads, though, if I'm going to potentially have to fight the patrolling soldiers again. And I don't really have a way of regaining health.
The Peace District. What irony.
Let's lose 4 fame. I'm skipping through a lot of this dialogue too. Okay. Well, it wouldn't be just directly up. It's got to be in one of the corners, I would imagine. So going downward probably is your right move. And I guess there is an extra advantage because the cards reset. If you actually do win on the card gambits. Because now I might as well just go all the way around. So my artifact card and the bombs themselves really aren't. I don't think I have a weapon here that lets me do a charge bash from the looks of it. I really wish when you are fighting these enemies, your sword would just naturally swing between multiple enemies as they bundle up so much that you would have more of an area of effect, splash damage type experience when you're swinging the sword. But then again, I guess I really wish that this whole thing was just a random dice gambit. Do I want to go to that location now? I think that is the end. Alas, I cannot take you, but I shall tell you about other travelers. So you can't go to a brimstone card, or you can't go all the way to the end. But I want to pay gold to that. No. I want to pay gold to that. No. The Church of Fires. Definitely seems like that is a brimstone card worth investigating. But otherwise, Fork in the Road is safe, and Corrupted Burrow is gonna have us fight things. I guess the question would come down to, do I think any of these items should be replaced with something else? Yeah, charge bash causes stun to a single target. We've done that 7 out of 25 times. I think you take a 50-50 shot and go to the right. Really should be picking like the second card always. I'm trying to rush here and see if we can get a silver in this mission. Let's try and target the gold people, I mean the gun people first. Come on. I am getting fairly good at deflecting bullets. But this definitely feels very grindy. It's also not getting us the conspirators, come to think of it, so... we kind of need to do other encounters. Or I need to just give up on the conspirators concept. I suppose either one of those is possible. See, I don't know if any of these corrupted that we're fighting at the moment are technically almost corrupted. We see there are some here with big arms that have corruption on them. But I don't know if armored corrupted are exclusively the corrupted that are completely covered in armor. Definitely feels like there's something that happens when you just have a certain amount of damage. All of a sudden the enemies stop trying to really attack you. This may just be because they're corrupted enemies also, but it just gets too easy. I can't really complain about it being too easy considering how hard it was without being in apprentice mode at the beginning. We're going way too late today. Search for spoils. Let's just leave quietly. Reroll those two, obviously. And still lose. So we got a decent amount of gold. Let's see, sell equipment. Go ahead and sell that because we can't use it anyways. Go ahead and sell that also since we can't use it. See if we can buy something. Let's see. We now know what that does. Charge bash against any enemy to unlock this token. I don't know what we have equipped though. I think you want to go with this one. No, I mean, I suppose if I'm doing charge bash, I'm doing charge bash for both of them. Don't want to buy anything else. We can buy food. I think that will put us in a good position. We could buy some healing. Not too bad. So we need to figure out what this is.
The moon reaches its height above the city, and upon what does it cast its light? Upon death, destruction, and pain. And this
So it just doesn't feel like there's enough cards here to get conspirators. A single spire of blight. Like, fighting a single spire of blight is not going to be difficult at all. There you go. Okay, go over there and attack him. Or hit it. Yep. I was hoping maybe I could get a stun bash on that, but so I don't understand what the rest of this move is. Is it that maybe you're supposed to defeat the patrol gates more?
It's not too late to plan better.
How many gates have we seen? We've seen 3 on this level, 2 on the previous one, and 2 on the previous one, so you're running into 6 gates. If 6 gates were going to give you 6 more companions, that still really wouldn't be enough. But then we also see a lot of these encounters, and then we're not getting anything from leaving quietly either. So it really just kind of feels like, I don't know if I get a 6 here, this would be 8. I always want to overroll too many dices. Yeah. I just don't get it. And Fork in the Road's not going to give us anything. Patrolling soldiers is not seemingly going to give us anything. And this is just going to be the end of it. So, even if I'd run every conspirator scenario correctly, I feel like I only would have been at 6 out of 12 conspirators. Unless you get more conspirators by getting gold missions and challenges in the previous challenges, which, if that was the case, maybe that would make sense. Or if you included every companion you unlocked, that would give you another 5. But doesn't make a lot of sense. Through the flickering candlelight, you walk past a row of wooden pews in front of the temple. Beyond the altar, you climb a moonlight staircase until you reach the vast doors leading to the west terrace. You open the heavy doors. Maybe fame could be translated into conspirators. I guess if I had 1 fame per conspirator, I could still have 12 conspirators, or gold could be translated. An Emperor General with gray hair and a kindly face greets you. So you are the fabled traitor. From the reports, I was expecting someone much shorter. Somebody has muddled it up, I imagine. General Flinthallow at your service. General Flinthallow reviews the blood pledges to your cause. You insult me, Flinthallow frowns. Without the people's support, you are nothing more than a common assassin. So there goes gold. Before you and Arande can react, General Flinthallow draws his pistol with lightning speed and shoots you in the neck. Still alive, eh? Maybe you have gumption and heart enough after all. The general stands over you as blood drips into your cupped hands. But I can't allow you to leave here. I'm sorry. So I wonder if recognizable would have gotten me a higher reward, or being unrecognizable would have given me a higher reward. Or maybe I would have gotten more conspirators if I wasn't recognizable. Then with a whistle, a troop of soldiers filled this church terrace. They are accompanied by an ogre. The ogre's arms are locked in heavy shackles, and the emperor's sigil is branded on its back. The soldiers release the chains, and the ogre shudders, its yellowed eyes darting around wildly. Some unknown conditioning prevents him from trying to escape. Slavery, Arune bellows, to the depths of hell with you. You draw your weapon. So we've got a big fight here. We want to win and at least get silver. But I can't really imagine I would immediately try and redo this fight. And here's this interesting background we've only seen once. Chained ogre, what iron could break out and break and enslave an ogre? The ogre's thick hide reduces damage by 4, making damage weapons less effective. Beware, club deals devastating damage. Evade or peril. Alright.
I feel really good about the smash I'm about to
So, let's take out as many people as possible that are the weaker ones. And let our assistant handle the stronger ones. I can't really stand by my companion though to charge her ability. Was that the captain down? I think it may have been. Let's go ahead and get the ogre. I'm at like 11 health. So if my companion can just take her out, take out the ogre. Come on, just a couple more hits. I really cheated there, leaning on the companion, but that really shows how useful she is in these big final fights where the enemies are just way stronger. General Flinthallow lies dying in a pool of his own blood. You have bested me. He draws a choking breath and his eyes fall on the dead enslaved ogre. Listen, listen, this land is sick. Maybe you're right. Maybe the Emperor must die for it to heal. You must be vigilant. They know you are here now. They know you are coming for him. As his last breath leaves his body, the general looks at you appraisingly, blood welling in one eye. You will die in there, you know. And I'm just like super happy that we even succeeded here at all.
Now death is inevitable.
What will be annoying,
it will come
though,
for the Emperor,
is
and
this won't unlock
changes.
the final challenge. And I feel like even if I had gotten gold in this scenario, it's not really going to change what the next challenge starts off as. Otherwise, it would just be really easy to beat the final level in this game just by getting gold in previous challenges, which that would tend to indicate that the final challenge would then have to be by default very difficult and require you to get gold in a lot of challenges. And I just don't think it's really going to play out that way. For learning the secret way into the palace, we have a wishing well, a hired hand, and a knight's sword event cards. We also have the hunter's blade, the dead knight scales, and the brigand's shield. For obtaining the mechanical oddity to fix Anders' forge, we have a Stygial pumpkin companion event. And for practicing your aim with the crossbow, we now have a Lone Shark card event, which does prove, if we didn't already know this, that you are effectively going to be forced into using some of the weapons well to unlock cards for the next to unlock event cards to use later. The sun is still locked on us, which means I need to accomplish some more things. And I think I'm just going to try and play something like the High Priestess off screen. Inherently, there's some weirdness around all of that in the number of cards that you can have. And I may run into new cards unless I specifically choose not to take new cards, which that's a thought. Is that I could play off screen, I could take just cards that aren't new and see what happens then. But it would be wiser to actually take the new cards and just figure out what they do off screen. But I do want to play off screen. That much I know is true. I want to take weapons and things like this that might have some rewards I could work on to unlock more cards overall. And the overall goal definitely is to have see if I take any companion, whatever companion I take is going to move that story forward too. So I might as well just take her and then take that. Really what this makes an argument for is that I should play off screen and then come back and like pause the video, unpause the video while playing off screen, but yeah, it's just not gonna happen. And so, but yeah, it's either do that or play Justice, which Justice maybe makes more sense. Yeah, I think I'll do that. We'll try the new cards and we'll play Justice, because getting gold on these doesn't inherently mean anything, I don't think. I don't think it guarantees that this would unlock, or that this would unlock. I wouldn't be surprised if the requirements are that you have to get silver in every challenge, or almost every challenge, to unlock this. And getting gold won't actually help you too much. It'll just give you new cards. It is ridiculous, though, that we have spent this much time now playing this game, and just now at the end it's starting to get somewhat strategic and entertaining. And even at that, even if I can sing the praises of the what would be close to 30-hour in experience, we also ran into trouble where I could not find a way to get enough conspirators in the moon challenge that we did today. And we're at like 27 out of 99 achievements. So there's still a lot more game that they would ideally want you to continue playing if you really, really love this game. There is such a thing as over-delivering in video games, particularly since this is a sequel that was released probably a little too early to the first game. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, thanks for watching.